Hey everybody, it's your old pal SimplySuperDave coming at you with another episode of Staying Super with SimplySuperDave. Well, today's episode is going to be pretty simple. Don't do a goddamn thing I tell you to. Alright? You want to stay super? Figure it out yourself. Obviously, I tell you one good thing. Don't think too much. God bless, don't. Don't dig up the truth about things. Don't look around. Just pay attention to which way they're telling you to go and fucking go that way. Because if you even try, look, I've been doing. First of all, let's get to the point of the podcast. This is probably going to be the final podcast because it's pointless. It's fucking pointless. It has been exactly a little bit over a year. That's right. It's been just over a year since we started the podcast. We're on episode 131 as we speak right now. The final episode of Staying Super with SimplySuperDave. I laugh when I say that because it literally means what it says. Staying super. You know how hard that is? Do you know how fucking hard it is to stay super? Let me tell you. Let me tell you just how hard it is. It's fucking impossible. Okay? It's fucking impossible. If you free your mind, you only realize how caged in you are. And that's depressing. It's better to not know you're in a cage at all. To be as ignorant is bliss. Oh, I hate this time that we live in. I look at all, you know what, it's like a double-edged sword. It really is. To have all this access to information and knowledge only to discover the ugliness that is contained within. Like I said, every lie is wrapped around a truth. Which is why I think in a lot of podcasts, I always pick that out because I want people to hear the truth within the bullshit that we are fed on a daily basis. Sure, there are certain things in the world. Let's take climate change for an example, okay? Because I get tired of talking about this fucking issue because there's so many people out there that just repeat the garbage I hear on TV. Well, if they cut back on gas and cars, you know why? You want to know why they focus on cars so goddamn much? Because poor people drive fucking cars. Rich people don't. Rich people fly. You don't hear about goddamn airplanes all the fucking time. Look at the air traffic in the fucking world. Just look at one of those maps. Just Google it. Do whatever you got to do. Look at the fucking air traffic. And you tell me which is polluting the air more. The fucking planes in the fucking air or the cars on the goddamn ground. I know there's a lot of cars. But do you know how much fuel and exhaust that a fucking jet engine puts out? You might as well just combine like fucking 1,000 cars together. And this is just for a period of a little bit of time. These motherfuckers stay up in the air for hours. Hours. Cars just drive to where they got to go in 10 or 15 minutes or less. Sure, you got truckers, okay? But still doesn't compare. Why? Because they want you to they want you to think you're doing something fucking wrong just by existing on the planet, which, by the way, is the true carbon footprint. You want to cut back on the carbon footprint? Fucking stop having so many goddamn kids. We don't need more idiots on this fucking planet because that's what they're going to grow up to be. Based on what I see from these future generations coming up, there's a lot of intelligence there. Tons of knee-deep in fucking intelligence. But not a goddamn lick of sense between any of them. Not a lick of sense. Climate change. Here we go. Let's go back to this one. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with their political intellect views about climate change. And what so-and-so said about it. And so-and-so said about it. And they're legit, right? The president. Fuck the president. All right? We're living in the worst presidency in U.S. history. You're currently living through it. You think Jimmy Carter fucked up? This guy here don't even know he is fucking up. He don't know what the word even fucking means. Unless you bring up a kid, then his dick gets hard, and then he realizes what the word fuck is. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck. Why? Because it's just right there in front of you. It's right there in front of you. But you want to hear their explanation? They're going to lie to you. So why do you even believe it? Climate change has been around since day fucking one. And I'm talking about before humans was even on this bitch. Because it's been climate changing its ass off because it's a goddamn living planet that you are made from. Everything on this thing that's alive, this is a fact, is made from the same thing that this planet is made from. Think about it. What is the true living thing about this fucking world? The world itself. What are you? You're not even, you're like a molecule on its ass. That's all you're, just a dust bunny. There is nothing you can do to stop the climate from fucking changing. It's a goddamn retarded, and I do mean retarded, argument. Because it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. That is not, and you know what? If you get offended by that, go fuck yourself. Who the fuck raised you to believe politicians are telling you the fucking truth? God, I wanted people to be more politically involved 20 plus years ago, but Jesus, I didn't know we were going to open the floodgates to cows because they're just mooing everywhere and fucking taking up space and leaving cow patties everywhere. Just piles of shit. Bullshit. So the title of this podcast is Staying Super. Why do you have to stay super? Because there's a lot to endure. Life is fucking hard. It always will be. But there's a payoff to it. Because anything that's hard to do is rewarding. Because it makes you feel better, stronger. Every fear that you have in your life, you need to turn around and face it. Even if you cower back down, you still turn around and try down the road. You never fucking give up. There's a lot of times where I feel like I should give up. I've actually tried that a couple of times, like really gave up. Like just fucking, no, I didn't even want to breathe no more. I've talked about it. Check out the past episodes. But here I am. I'm talking to you wonderful motherfuckers, right? So obviously I didn't pull the trigger. Or, well, let's just say divine intervention kept me from the second attempt. But anyway, my point is you have to stay super. Why? Because life is fucking hard. And it don't need to be harder because you buy into bullshit. You got to know when to let go, when to realize there's just nothing you can do about it. Climate change is one of those things. You can't do anything. There's not a fucking thing you're going to do to keep this planet from shifting poles, changing its weather patterns, splitting continents, and every fucking thing else with volcanoes. That's not because you had a fucking Hyundai in 1989. It's because the planet's going to fucking do it, and everything that we... these are not biodegradable. They'll be here in 1 million years. Lava can fucking ruin everything. I don't know about you know, but everything fucking melts on this planet because the planet made it. It can regurgitate itself. Nuclear waste, same things, but we just didn't know how to properly dispose of it. That's not the planet's... We don't know everything. Everything they tell you, this is what's going to happen in 1 million years. They don't fucking know what happened 1 million years ago. How in the fuck are you going to tell you what happened 1 million years from now? They can't even fucking figure out what some of the things that were... We don't know how they cut this stone. We don't know who built this shit. But you're going to tell me 100, 2,000 years from now, this is how it's going to... You can't even tell me the answer to this. It's just like we want to explore space so much, but we haven't even been to the bottom of the ocean. How can we go so far away when we don't know everything within? Huh? Answer me that. There's a lot of things in this world that is just politically driven by money. Money is the root of all evil, even with religion. Did you know religion? Just the combined income of churches and religion in the United States is 3 times over the amount of money that Silicon Valley brings in. Over big tech, digital, religion. Go ahead and throw your dollar in the plate. If you think you're going to feed your neighbor down the street, you're better off taking the money to the neighbor directly. It's a pawn. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, not my church, not my church. Yes, your church. Your pastor don't even know he's doing it. Okay? A lot of people don't even know it. They're just brought up that way. It's all they know. It's brainwashing from infancy. Everything we're eating, processed food and all this stuff, is just poison. But it doesn't matter as long as the bottom line keeps going up, right? We got to put these rules and regulations in. Who's benefiting from this? Look how much money corporations made in 2020 by itself off the backs of fucking people that were dying. Supposedly. And look how many people dying from the fucking vaccination. Yes, I said that too. Because I don't know about you, but it sure seems to be a huge, steep number of people that just drop dead for no apparent reason in their early ages. I've even gone to depths of even looking up some of these things, and it'd be strange things that are happening to their body after the vaccination. I'm sorry, but when you first put something together, it might not work right? You got to perfect it. That's how vaccines work, just like every fucking thing else does. But they just shoved it right on out there, and they made you so hungry for it, you ran out there and said, jab me. I believe in vaccinations. Me too. I just don't believe in the first go of a vaccination. How about that? That's called being smart. It's because you know your history and you've seen them fuck up before. I don't know about you, but I didn't want to roll the dice until I knew it was working properly. And I still don't think they're there yet, okay? Just like the flu vaccine, it mutates. You got to get another one next year, blah, 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 blah. Too much of anything is a bad thing, including medicine. You can love something too much and kill it. I don't care what you tell me you can do for something. If you do too much of it, it's a bad thing. You can never have too much money. That's what a poor person says. Ask a rich motherfucker that. Yes, you can't have too much money because then the world harasses you even more. I think about that aspect, and I love being poor. My life is a fucking torture on a daily basis. I've had everything kind of stripped away from me over the past few months. My dignity, my pride, what I've had believed in. Opportunities I felt like were granted to me, but were never given because I have not earned them because of my credit score. A credit score. So my personal living life affects whether or not I should move up in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm never going to have that credit score unless I make good money. So why are you going to reward other people that already have money? Reward it to someone that, first of all, this is a job I've been doing for multiple years, almost a decade. Almost a fucking decade. Been called one of the best. Every job I get, I strive. I was raised that way. I was brainwashed to care about my job. That's a hard one to break. It really is, because I have not broken it. Because I do believe in working. I do believe in doing something. If I was an Indian, I'd be out there hunting my ass off and building teepees better than any other fucking Indian on the fucking reservation. All right? I believe the Indians had it right. I believe that way of life was the most perfect essence of life, to live with nature, not against it. Not try to control it. We are in one fucked up situation, folks. And now that the Pandora's box has been opened, the apple of Eden in your hand. The apple of knowledge. Now that we've opened that door up, I don't know if we can handle it, folks. I think we're all going mentally stir crazy. It's very rare that I actually see a sensible human being anymore. And when I do, I'm fascinated. Fucking fascinated. It's like looking at a fucking endangered species on the fucking planet, okay? Where the fuck have they been? Where's that common sense at? It sure isn't with the new generation. I'm not saying, look, I admit I'm fucked up. So I'm not trying to say, I know everything. No, I don't. Which is why I started off the podcast telling you not to do a goddamn thing I tell you to. Go ahead. Don't think. Do what you're told. Follow the line. Get in the system. Be part of the rat race. It's a payoff, because money is the reward. Being a part of the system is a reward. And then, of course, if you do see things differently, you do see the truth, you actually might just go crazy. Then you might get addicted to stuff because you can't handle the real world around you because it's just not right. It's hurtful and depressing. You feel like you're slaving yourself just to have enough money. Oh, you got a place to live and stuff. You should be happy. Yeah, I'm making more money than I ever did before. More than my fucking parents did, my grandparents did. Yet they took just a quarter of their income and fucking made a living. Bought homes and stuff. Vacations. Fucking Christmas presents. Even my family was poor, but we still could buy Christmas presents. I'm so poor that I'm barely paying the rent, and I wished I could get a Christmas present for somebody. I am a failure at so many goddamn things, and this is the reason why I make the podcast, because if I am able to fucking tell people my story so they can avoid making the same mistakes as me, then this podcast has been successful. So God, I hope that you hear it. I hope you listen loud. Listen loud. How do you listen loud? Listen to my dumb ass. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I'm on a tangent tonight because I am at one of those breaking points where I'm trying to stay super. You know what the joy, I was trying to think earlier, what in my life do I do currently? Not over my whole lifespan, just currently, because you know me, no past, no future. We're all living in one continuous moment that has never stopped. Just because you take a nap doesn't mean the next day really happens. Just because the sun goes down on this planet doesn't mean the sun's going down on the universe. It's all one continuous moment. Time is nothing but a made-up construct, folks. But currently, at this stage of my life, the only thing that I find joy in, this is going to be so sad. It is so sad. But I'm not knocking it because I love this. I've been doing this since I was a kid. So obviously I love this, but I didn't think it would become the only fucking thing that made me happy. Playing video games. Putting on the headphones. Not hearing a single thing going on in the world around me. Immersing myself into a character on a screen. To do the unbelievable things that my old body cannot do no more. Or could never do to begin with. Playing out fantasies that play off into everybody's head. Whether you be car racing, battle royal where you kill a bunch of people, or if you're fucking building houses on a lake somewhere and befriending animal creatures that were your neighbors. Whatever game you play, whatever creative forces that you use to push that power button to turn it on so you can turn life out. That is my singular one thing I do that can make me happy. But I tell you, there's a lot of things in my life that keep me from even hitting the power button. And that's how heavy life feels to me right now. Because when I get in a certain mood, I don't want to turn on the power button. I should, but I can't. There is no such thing as people-affected climate change. Sure, you existing does, but so does every fucking thing else on the planet. Climate change happens whether you're here or not. So yes, I do believe in climate change. But when you start telling me what I should or should not do because of climate change, suck my big fat cock, okay? Because that would probably help with environmental change right there. It's bullshit, and I'm not going to participate in that no more. Just like I'm not going to feel bad about saying words that come out of my mouth because I know I'm not saying anything offensive to anybody. If you take offense to this, then maybe there's something in there that's true. And you don't want to face it because you're scared and you're not in your safe place and no one should be able to talk like that. As soon as you say that and you think there should be action taken, you're a fucking Nazi. All right? You're a fucking hater. You're wrong. You are on the wrong side of things. I love it when people try to do something in the name of something that's right, but does it so wrongly that they just kind of take away the whole point of what they were trying to do to begin with. It's like, it doesn't matter that your point is right. What you're doing is completely wrong. What you're saying is completely wrong. How you're handling, how you're treating others is completely wrong. So take your right and wipe your ass with it, because that's how much bullshit that is. Whew. My life is a failure because of me. I don't point fingers at anyone. I can point fingers at what's pissing me off. I can point fingers at what's making me upset. But how am I handling that? That's where I have control. And if I let it get to me, just like someone's offensive words, then I'm the failure. You're not handling it right. I'm not handling life right. It's not anyone else's fault. So when I say retarded, I meant me. I call myself retarded all the time. Why? Because I do retarded, stupid shit. Fact, I don't feel bad about it, because I look around and watch a bunch of other people act retarded, but then they're like, well, it's because of... No, I know what it's because of. You explained to me how you got to the retarded moment in your life, but it still don't mean anything's changed. You still did something, what? Retarded. You could have done something opposite. You could have not let it get to you. You could have just brushed it off, walked away. Or, if you do nothing but walk away, maybe you should turn around and fucking hit it. Oh, did I just promote violence? Oh, Lord. That's a natural human aggression. Oh, you know what? It's a natural thing that every living creature on the planet knows. Why? Because it happens. You're not going to get rid of it. I think I watched a comedian earlier talk about how we gotten rid of bullies out of schools, but yet we have more school shootings than ever. Why? Well, it's because the nerds get bullied. No, we got rid of the bullies. It wasn't the bullies that were terrorizing schools. It's the goddamn nerds. I mean, really. Think about it. Every one of them is like, well, I didn't use the right pronouns, so I had to kill 30 people. That's not a good reason. Oh, well, we need to start using rubber. No, you don't accommodate to the crazy person. Sorry, you don't. And let me tell you something else, folks out there that worry about their goddamn fucking identity, gender, and all that bullshit. That's great. I want you to be whoever the fuck you want to be. I don't care if you want to be Mary Poppins, Mr. Mary Poppins. I don't really give a fuck. Be it. I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy so you stop fucking with other people. Instead, I see a bunch of you just be angry because other people don't understand you. Nobody understands anybody else unless you live with the motherfucker. And then that's when the gender becomes kind of important. Because you're committing yourself to this person. So you need to know. Do you fit like puzzles, or are you going to be two goddamn fucking pointies going blah, 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 blah? You know, it don't make no fucking sense. Look, there's a reason why your sexuality and your gender and all that bullshit, all that private stuff needs to contain to be private. Because it's only meant for one other fucking person. That's who you're with. That's it. That's the only person it affects. No one else. Not even your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, nobody else. Just the person you're sticking or getting stuck by or scissoring, whatever the fuck it is you do. I don't care. Whoever you're being intimate with is the only person that cares about your goddamn gender, okay? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me, does it fucking matter to me if Bob out there wants to be a Bobbylicious? No, go be Bobbylicious. But if you come up here and try to suck my dick, you're going to get hit. And then I'm going to go to jail for a hate crime. Why? Because I didn't get you. I didn't respect you. I didn't call you her instead of him or they or whatever. I don't fucking care. And the fact that you get butthurt and want to fight for your right, you got your fucking rights, man. Everybody's got their fucking rights. We're living in 2023. This is not even 1988. It's not 1990 something. It's not 2000 something. It's not 2010 anything. It's 2023. Whew. As far as that all goes, it's all bullshit as well because they want you to keep fighting about it. Well, I got to make sure nobody knows because they don't need to know. They don't have to know. Oh my God. It's stupid. Your sexuality is not who you are. I'm gay and I'm proud. That's great. But who are you? I'm gay. Well, you cannot. No. Who are you? Take away your sexuality and who the fuck are you? This goes for you straight bitches too. All right? I'm talking about you. I'm a man because I like to fuck everything. What? Is that how you prove your manliness? Is because you fucked that many women or not? Bunch of horse shit. We're all living in each other's fucking horseshit lies that we think are the truth. This is who I am. No, it's not. You're not even your fucking name. You're not even the body that you have. You are a ball of energy controlling a vehicle through life, making up shit to argue about because there's nothing else better to do. You don't have to build your own home. You just go rent one. Or go buy one and just place it on the land. You don't have to farm. You don't have to hunt for animals. You don't have to do any of the things that prior people in our history has ever done. All we do is sit around and literally argue with one another about stuff that only matters to very few people. But thousands matter than a few people do, apparently. I have respect for every different type of person on this planet. There's not a person I have come across where I'm not friendly with, even if they were someone I did not like at first. I always give them a chance, see if maybe I was wrong. Most of the time I'm not. And I don't hate them. I just walk away. I don't need them in my life. It's not hard. But no. You have people out there that will fucking run you down, ruin your life because you called them her instead of him. But they obviously look like a her. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. Climate change, gender roles. What fucking bullshit is that? There isn't a human being on the planet that did not come from a woman. Okay? Every single motherfucker on this planet came out between a woman's legs. Unless, I guess, they're test tube babies or whatever. Don't get me wrong, you can genetically do that. But if you took away all the science and the machines and all that stuff and you just had people naturally being people, everything's coming out of a woman's legs. Period. It's not coming out. Now, if you want to call yourself a he, that's great. But the other 99.99% of the people on the planet know that you're a woman. Okay? So, we'll respect you, Bob. But we all know, and we're not going to change the laws of how everybody lives their lives just because the one person wants to be different. You have the freedom to be different. Do not expect others to follow. That's your freedom. That's what you should do. And this goes with all aspects. I'm moving on from the gender thing. I'm not really a big fighter about that. I support all people of different sexualities. I've lived with people of different sexualities. I've been best friends, family. Love them all. So don't twist it. Don't think that, oh, this guy needs to be canceled. I have nothing. You can't fucking scare me because there's nothing to take from me. I'm like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption. You can put me in fucking jail. I'm still free, bitch, because you can't take away me. Because I know who I am. I am you. I am everybody else, just like everybody else is me. Because we're all made from the very same thing. Don't let your big brains get you in trouble. Remember, every truth is wrapped in a lie. Either you can suck on it or take the wrapper off. It's up to you. Just see a whole bunch of people just going, what's this paper in my mouth? You fucking idiot. You just got to take the lie off. And just the truth only. I wasn't joking. This will be the final podcast. I feel like I pretty much have said everything that matters to me. If something does come about, I'll add another maybe. But for now, I think that this is probably the best way to go. Like I said, I'm not a big repeater of myself. Just because an episode is a year old doesn't mean that it's a old topic. All my topics and all my podcasts have some relevancy at any point in time. If you follow them in order, it might make a little bit more sense, but I doubt it. Not saying you couldn't comprehend it, but I don't tend to make a whole lot of sense until later on. But you got to give me a chance. If you don't give me a chance, you'll never hear the point. And if you never hear the point, then it's all a bunch of babble-wabble, right? So, hopefully you understand my bubble. I hope my bubble connects to yours. Hopefully we feed off of each other, because different size bubbles doesn't matter. You're still a bubble. You're still a bubble. Just because that bubble's bigger doesn't mean it's better. It just means they got a lot more going on, and this is your capacity. I do want to say thank you to everybody that has listened to the podcast. I will keep promoting it, of course, because like I said, it's not like it's a failure to me. It's something I wanted to do, some way of leaving behind who I am, how I believe, how I feel, in a respectful, hopeful way that people can understand that the hate they feel for others is a misguided, brainwashed hate. The fears that you have in your life were taught to you. Even through your own experiences, but they were taught to you. The one thing, and I've noticed this, that a lot of people that get out there and speak about certain topics in particular, which would be loving one another, getting along, finding a way to walk together, every one of those motherfuckers are dead, okay? Not because they naturally died, but because they were shot and killed. You have to wonder about that sometimes, you know? It's pretty obvious that and you know what? We'll go to a religious little throwback here. Just keep in mind. Just keep this in mind. If you are living right, whatever that means, but if you're living right, following your heart, following the goodness, because you know what? No matter what you're taught, inside from the moment you're born, you know what's good, you know what's right, and you know what's wrong. When you do something, you know you did something wrong, you feel a certain way. When you do something and it feels good, and you feel like you did something right, it feels a certain way. Have you ever noticed that there's two types of feelings in the world? I really want you to think about this, please. I know the podcast is getting a little long, but this is the last one. And here is my last thought with you. There are two types of feelings in this world. There is the physical feeling, and then there is the intangible feeling. Okay? Everybody knows what stone feels like, what the grass feels like on your face, when you touch someone else's face, all that, okay? But can you explain to me how you feel things without touching or anything happening? For instance, when someone you care deeply about walks into a room, how you feel like you get butterflies in your stomach, so to speak. But you feel things. People that die and come back, okay? A lot of near-death experiences. Watch some of those documentaries. Pretty interesting. Not But they all have similar stories. They all feel blissful. They feel comforted. They feel surrounded by something. Their body's dead. Their brain dead. They've been dead for 30 fucking minutes. They have no fucking feeling in their body whatsoever. It's a piece of meat. It's not breathing. It's not being supported by fucking machines or anything. There's people that have died for that long and come back and they're normal, or at least they appear normal, but they've seen some shit and they felt some shit. Well, how can you feel something if you're not fucking alive? How can you have that memory, that remembrance, that feeling? Same thing with when someone walks into a room, or when something makes you excited inside, that makes you smile. And you can be just standing in a room, not touching a single fucking thing, all completely alone. And you find those feelings inside of you. This is what I meant by Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption. They could not touch his happiness inside his soul. And think about it. The soul isn't a anatomy part of the body, except for the sole of the feet, which I have pointed out. It's weird how the sole of your feet should be touching the ground without rubber in between it, because that's your connection to God, because God is your planet. That is where the energy, everything that you're made from, comes from. That energy ball, that intangible feeling that you have, that is who you are. Just realize it, folks, that without this body, you're still going to feel things. You're still going to exist. Whether it's a good feeling or a horrible feeling, that's up to you. It's your energy output that dictates what energy input you get back. Makes me question a lot of things, really, about myself when I say that, because I like to point the finger back at myself. That's why I always have admitted in every podcast that I don't know. I'm not always right, and I started it off this way too. But like I said, if anyone, just one person, listens to this podcast and they can better their lives or learn or whatever, then this was the most successful podcast ever. There is one way to conquer all the hate and fear in your life. And I'm doing right now. It might be a forced one, but it's laughter. It's love. Love and laughter is the only thing that can conquer hate and fear. More hate, more fear cannot defeat hate and fear. It might be two different. I hate you is different from me. You hating me. Yeah, but it's still two hates. Don't make a right. It don't make love. It don't make peace. And sure, no one is laughing. We got to stop hating one another for stupid fucking reasons. Climate change, gender roles, political party affiliation, how you feel about this, what your ancestors did. I mean, really, we're digging deep to find reasons to hate one another here. You know what I mean? When we should be embracing. I love learning about different people's backgrounds, their cultures, where they came from. I met people from actual Africa. And I was like, you're really from Africa? That's amazing. I want to hear. I want to go there, but I know that's not safe for me because I'm an American and I'm white. But I'm fascinated. I love to learn different. I want to try different foods because I think that would be cool, because I'm not stuck up my own ass. I don't think any race has got it right. Like I said, I think the Indians were the best ones. Teepees, moving along, fishing, smoking a little pot every night, making sure you're making babies, and then moving along, migrating south when it's getting cold up north. Or whatever. Live with nature. Be one with nature. Respect the life that has been given to you by respecting the life it came from, so to speak. All right. I think I've rambled long enough. Now, I hope there was a point in there for anybody to pick up. And that is, stop taking yourself so seriously. Why so serious? Great movie, by the way. Last movie reference from the podcast. And, of course, you should know that would be The Dark Knight. Probably one of the most iconic roles ever played by Heath Ledger, or any actor, and playing the Joker in that movie, which made a lot of very good, valid points. And if you go watch the movie, you will see that he really counts that the evil within people will conquer over the goodness. It's a very good movie. Very good movie. Christopher Nolan's a brilliant director, but the acting was top-notch, and probably, I don't know, it makes me want to watch the movie even thinking about his performance in it. That's how inspiring it was. Great movie. But yeah, I think a lot of people out there are just like the Joker. And we need more Batmans out there. Have every reason to hate the fucking world, but still believes in hope. And that he's not a great man. He has all the fucking flaws of anybody else. Demons to fight and everything. But yet he still pushes to believe in the goodness of people. While the Joker knows that the evilness is just so easy and tempting. Are we past that tipping point where the good can outweigh the bad? I don't know. But I will say this. There is not a damn thing you can do to make other people good. The person you need to worry about most is that person in the mirror. That's the only thing you can control. That's the only thing your world is made of. Not everything that you're consuming, not by the apple of knowledge in your hand. Just by your own inner voice, that feeling, that thing that cannot be destroyed. Your energy. So, just like all energies out there, you have positives and negatives. The question is, which one are you going to be? All right, folks, I'm out of here. From the last time you'll hear from me from the great state of Louisiana, here in these crazy United States, spinning out of control on this crazy planet we call Earth, out in this vast universe that we call life. Remember, the only way to conquer hate and fear is with love and laughter. So go be a conqueror. Don't be a victim.